and welcome to FuzzFeed206. VesperBat here, joined by my colleagues, CPD80 and Project Grizzle. And actually today we have some very special guests. And also we've got John and Elisa from King 5 News. They're doing a little they're doing a story on just police streaming Twitch, because that's kind of cool. So they're Xbox One players. We're not going to hold that against them, but Elisa is super big into Destiny. Look her up. Her handle is Hahnstress. That's Hahnstress. So, yeah, as promised, it's another episode, and of course, we're a little delayed. We had some technical difficulties. Our fault. Not yours. So without further ado, let's take it to Nightfall. Got a few subjects to cover today. We're going to talk a little bit about the Seattle homelessness crisis. We're also going to talk about inconsiderate drivers who block intersections during commutes. Specifically in the downtown core, and we're going to close up with bicycle theft. But however, I do want to go ahead and get started by just issuing a general thanks to the Washington State Patrol, the Seattle Fire Department, our own officers who were out directing traffic, WashDOT, and all of the commuters, all the motorists who were incredibly patient yesterday when we were dealing with 2 different rounds of snow and an unexpected tanker rollover on the interstate. It was a mess. So Metro Transit, Sound Transit, everyone worked really hard to make sure that everyone could get where they needed to be. But let's be honest, everyone, at the end of the day, it required a tremendous amount of patience. So everyone is loaded up, and off we go.
Guardian. We've picked up a high
Starting off with the first subject, Seattle's homelessness crisis. We've talked about this a bit before. It's come up in different conversations about crime and policing. So today we're going to talk about it a little bit more generally from the city perspective. Mayor Ed Murray, during his State of the City address last week, or 2 weeks ago, last week, talked about this at Idris Mosque. And, this is a state of emergency. It's a humanitarian crisis. And it's very important that city officials and city departments work closely together to ensure that we are providing, services to those who need them. And, this includes, people who may have just lost their jobs. This includes people who are just down on their luck. It might include people who have severe mental health illness or chemical dependency issues. And so, as police, we run into all sorts of folks during the course of our job, and it's very important to note that being homeless unto itself is not a crime. It's a person's status. And as such, as police officers, part of that is just offering people, in coordination with our Human Services Department, an opportunity to, get routed to shelters, get routed to services. Sometimes we will, be in an encampment for a criminal investigation, like we were recently, dealing with the human trafficking issue. And yes, that is one of the most serious crimes we investigate, absolutely. However, that was a very specific investigation to a very particular person, and not everyone who happens to be homeless is someone who commits crimes. Being homeless is not a crime unto itself. And so, as the city moves forward, we have now a navigation team that is, and that's our first right.
Hey, where did everybody go?
I love the war stat. I love
off the
it
cliff.
so much.
I didn't want to say anything.
You did?
Yeah.
It
was kind of embarrassing.
So finishing up the thought, right? So the navigation team is launched, and that is Human Service Department workers and Seattle police officers with special training who are out doing outreach to people in encampments and just ensuring that we can get people what they need. This is all about pathway to housing, and we feel that the best way to do that is to make sure that people have individual services. One size does not fit all. We've talked about this with crime, and we've talked about this, in how we deploy officers in neighborhoods through the micro-community policing plans. A lot of those same principles apply when dealing with a very complex social issue like homelessness. So with the navigations team, you're teaming up officers. It's a multidisciplinary approach. And so CPD, I'm up in 3, 2, 1.
Those are a bunch of...
Sweet. Nicely done. Oh, it's also Brawler, guys, so we can probably do a little bit more damage. What's your countdown?
I'm, 10.
Okay, this is going to be one of those painful ones. Let me,
Good thing there's not a news crew around to watch.
So I think one of the primary things about us streaming Twitch is we never promise to be good. I don't think this is the right place to come for tips on how to play Destiny. We should have our supers up here shortly, so that'll reduce some of the difficulty as well. Yeah. So back to pathways to housing and just the police response. Some of the questions that we've had, and that's kind of like the preamble, right? Some of the questions that we've had are, well, I walked past an encampment and it was on, city property or state property, and I'm pretty sure those people are breaking the law because I saw some things there that may have been stolen. And we would just say that if you think a crime's happening, let us know. Call us. We'll come out and investigate. In fact, we rely often on people sharing information with us. Specifically, one of the questions had to do with, bicycle parts at encampments. And, this is something that we saw on Reddit earlier. And, yeah, we're very interested in knowing if someone is running a bicycle chop shop. However, we can't always just make assumptions about things that we see. We do have to establish probable cause and ensure that when we contact folks, we have a constitutional authority to do so. So we're sorry this is taking so long too. This is the most difficult part of the Nightfall.
Oh no.
So I'm gonna change my loadout, guys. I'm gonna switch to sword. I think that will help. So give me a second.
Well, this is appalling. Didn't we get stuck on this one time too?
Yeah, we did. We won't get stuck.
Yay. This is the worst
part of the whole strike.
Well, good thing it's not first.
Yeah. So, you're right. With homelessness, with criminal activity, just know if you suspect that there's a crime, let us know. And by the way, people who are living in encampments can be victims too. There's a story in West Seattle, covered in the West Seattle Herald, about a man living in an RV. He's, surviving cancer, and someone's driving by and shooting his windows out with a BB gun. Now that's just terrible. And so, yeah, we investigate that. We investigate crimes like that. And people who are, homeless, people who are unsheltered, can be and often are victims of crime and deserve police services too. That said, we also talked about the guy who was basically sexually abusing minors, and we're very happy to report that he's in jail. So it's very complex. There's you just cannot make assumptions about people, and we certainly don't. I think that's the bottom line. And ultimately, if you have a question, just call us, right? I mean, that's what we're here for. Yeah, sword's gonna work, and I have a res too if we need it.
I'm back in 7.
Let's take out this wizard.
3, 2.
Sorry, just a little longer.
Gotcha.
Rasputin's testing me.
Ooh. That was a toughie.
Another wizard.
Yeah, behind us. Get that guy. Okay. Progress. That's good.
How much?
Okay, I've got a self-res which I'm going to save. Hey, see, we have a couple of viewers,
Need to
so
use that.
if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and let us know. Happy to take a crack at answering it. Ooh.
Well,
yikes.
hey, since I'm just hanging here, sitting, for the next 20 seconds or so, let's talk about bike theft. One of the things we get asked about a lot is, bikes, bike parks and encampments. And, I actually pulled the numbers. We've seen a drop in bike theft. 2016 showed a drop in bike theft over 2015. We're actually, I think, our best year in 4 years now. 2013, there were 1131 reported bike thefts. Last year, there were 1126. So, that's down from the 2 years prior by a couple hundred. Yay. Still something we're focusing on. Our Major Crimes Task Force has done a couple of different emphasis efforts towards, returning stolen bikes. One of our detectives who we did an AMA with not too long ago on Reddit, Scotty Bach, was instrumental in that. He tracked a bike chop shop up to, I think it was Edmonds, returned some things, and also, found a couple of places that were parting them out in I think it was the Belltown area. But, overall, I think, Sean, you mentioned sort of difficulties in establishing whether or not a bike is stolen or being parted out, or, how officers can determine something like that. But, it is an area we're aware of and focusing on, and, there are some things you can do to make your bike, a less appealing target. It happens. I parked my bike outside a light rail station once, and when I came back at the end of the day, the bike was still there, but, someone had taken the seat, which was, didn't make for an easy ride home. Anyway, it happens, and, but, parking in a sort of well-lit area can help. Obviously, a good lock is always key. Yeah, get a good lock is always key. Get it, guys. Just making sure things aren't easy to pick off from your bike. But most importantly, if your bike does get stolen, letting us know and providing that serial number is key. We get a lot of reports of stolen bikes, but not always with the serial number or pertinent info, so if it gets found, we're able to return it.
Up in 5 CPD. Up now. Come get me, Project, if you can.
Oh no, it's just me?
So, yeah, getting your bike stolen is it's a major drag. We live in Seattle. It's a very bike-friendly community. A lot of people rely on their bikes for transportation as their primary mode of transportation to commute to work. And so, that's your investment. We would encourage everyone to register their bike through a number of services to make sure that should... Yeah, how did that happen exactly, CPD?
It landed on me.
Oh, so yeah, register your bike, because here's the other thing. Here's the other secret. We actually find a lot of bikes during the course of our job, and we can't reunite them with their owners. So, Project, do you want to talk a little bit about the Get Your Bike Back program?
Yes, I do. So we have a Twitter feed we started a couple of years ago called Get Your Bike Back. It's designed to help you get your bike back. We actually have a lot of bikes that end up getting recovered, just sort of found on the side of the street, in somebody's yard. They'll wake up in the morning, there'll be a bike there that doesn't belong to them, and they don't know how it got there. Oftentimes, officers will check the serial number on it, and it's not a reported stolen bike. It's just a bike. And so without knowing who that belongs to, we still try to reunite those with owners. Somebody may not have, written down their serial number, as I mentioned, and so they'll, but we have detectives that still work to get people back their property. And one of the ways we do that is to get your bike back. There are two different kinds of bikes, I guess we'll say. There's found property bikes, and there are what they call in the evidence room crime bikes. So if, officers arrest a burglar and look in his car and there's a bunch of stolen bikes in there, those are crime bikes. Those are considered evidence. But, the bikes found in yards, things like that, those are found property bikes. And with those, our property room evidence detectives take pictures of them, tweet them out, and just try to get them back to the people they belong to. We do that, through our Get Your Bike Back feed. We've had some successes on there. Just people recognize pictures on there. We've got 1,000-some followers, and we've also got the folks that sort of on their own match them up with some of the different registry services out there, and so it's always great when we can get somebody back their bike with not a ton to go on, or when people are proactively checking our feed to see if it's on there. And again, that isn't every single thing we have in the property room, but it's a great tool we have, and we're glad that we have it.
Oh gosh, you guys.
Grizzle,
Grizzle, back up a bit, because we still have plenty of time on the war stat.
Oh god. Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna try a
a
little bit more solar on this. Let's see.
I know, right?
Beating my head up against the wall here. Why don't we
Oh,
try
wait a
this?
second. I'll try a different fusion rifle, actually. There we go. Let's try this. Okay, let's get our supers up. So, right. The two topics that we just covered, I think are, both of them came up on Reddit. Both of them come up countless times, during the course of our work week and during the course of our profession. Property crime, in this specific case, we're talking about bicycle theft, which is something that I think a lot of people, find very frustrating. Car break-ins, one of the number one issues that Seattle residents experience. We've talked a lot about prevention. We've talked about investigation in the past too. I think it's really important that, we reiterate that people shouldn't make assumptions about people who are poor, people who are unsheltered. At the same time, if you think that someone's committing a crime, they don't get a free pass. Give us a call. If you see someone who's, trying to adjust a bike lock or try to remove components from a bike, and that is not the person you just saw, park it 5 minutes prior, then, by all means, and, without hesitation, call us and let us know. But, it's just really important not to make assumptions and just give everyone the benefit of the doubt. But understand that we're the guys, men and women, who sort out these issues in real time as part of our day-to-day job. We are trained to do that, and it's a service that we provide. And so, investigating crimes and apprehending people who, commit, as we very much know, the majority of the property crimes is very satisfying because prolific offenders are in fact responsible for most of those crimes. So I just wiped just outside the circle on the beach side.
Yeah, I see it.
And I'm hanging way back.
Are you
still? Oh, I'm down.
Yeah, I'm N7 CPD, if you can come up and get a bubble. And the reason I wiped is because it's grounded, and it was like pretty much instant death.
Oh. Couldn't get to you, man.
So guys, we got 3 viewers. If you have any questions, just send us a note.
Why are you guys so bad at Destiny?
Because we don't spend enough time playing. I wish that was true. So...
yeah, that light level didn't get to 400 on its own.
All hard work and practice, good sir. All hard work and practice. So, we're here today with our local news station, King 5 News. I've got John and Alyssa in the room. And I will say that Alyssa is a Destiny player. Do you have any questions about why we're so bad, Alyssa? So, Alyssa says that she has trouble with this one too. So I can feel that pain because that's what this is.
It is not kind today.
I've got a super.
So do I.
I will watch the... Actually, Grizzle, can you watch the beach side? Because there's more over here. Oh, great. Short on ammo. That's fine. And remember not to jump.
Ugh.
For anything.
Not even for joy.
No, not even for that. So, we've got so many bikes in our evidence section because people haven't registered them. It's a little sad. One of the things that we will do with bikes that go unclaimed for extensive amounts of time is actually donate them. Like, we've donated bikes to Hurricane Katrina victims. We've donated bikes to veterans groups, people who are in need. And so I think that's like super cool. At the same time, it would be even better to get bikes back to people who actually own them. And so that's like our number one priority. So please make sure you're registering your bike. Uh-oh, don't grenade myself. That's not the desired outcome. And if your bike is stolen, and let's say, it did not get registered, then have no fear. Get your bike back and see if, we have it. So long as you have a picture of yourself riding it, a picture of the bike, some unique identifying characteristics, then we will make every effort to get it back to you. So you guys want to revisit strategy?
Rasputin's dropping a war sat from orbit. It contains codes we'll need to gain access to his bunker.
So, now that I have secondary, I should be able to put some shots on targets from far away. I'll pop a heavy synth here in a second.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop another heavy synth too. Let's just take 30 seconds here, guys. Let our supers get up. Let's make sure we've got maximum. Gonna go with this. Should we be using rockets? Maybe.
Yeah, the rockets are clearing out the groups pretty quick. We've got guys with solar shields and guys with void shields, so...
Yeah. You know what? Okay. I'm gonna keep my loadout. But I am going to add some heavy here. So this should be the last time we do this one. Oh, let me. Ever. You know, when I first saw this on Destiny's subreddit, I kind of thought, oh, we're totally gonna breeze through this one because there's no burn.
Yeah, but there's nothing to help either.
I'm feeling the burn. It's hard. Games are hard. Okay. So, and let's save our last topic there, Mr. CPD, until the very end. So we're in a very peaceful, tranquil Russia. Nice to be here in the Cosmodrome. Smelling the salty, briny air. Thank you very much, Bungie, for creating a tranquil landscape for us to struggle in. Try to appreciate the natural beauty of our surroundings while we defend this Warstat, which unceremoniously dropped from outer space. Okay, yeah, that, got me, the Darkness Bolt, so I do have my self-res, which I would like to hold on to.
Alright. Well, best of luck with that.
I've got 15 seconds. If you can just stay alive right there, Project.
That's a lot.
Come back around to your left.
I'm coming back up. Oh. The purple thing showed up.
Yeah, I can take out the purple thing.
If I can get to you. Hey, lightning round. What's your favorite cop movie? Can't do lightning round right now. Alright. I'm coming around the long way here.
My favorite cop movie. I'll tell you what my favorite cop series is. I've got a few, actually. Big fan of True Detective Season 1, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. And The Wire, right? Who doesn't like The Wire?
I'm more of a comedy guy, so I prefer 21 Jump Street myself. You're a big fan of Top Dog? Top Dog, yes. Fantastic one.
Ride Along, another great movie. There's all sorts of good ones out there. Alright guys, what do you want to do?
I want to defend the Warstat. I think...
Defend the Warstat.
Let's do it. We can do it.
I don't think I even have any primary left.
Got 4 minutes.
Yeah,
that's... Okay. Is there any way we can toggle the difficulty to noob?
Easy mode. Please don't hurt me.
Okay, so I've got full super, or no, I've got full heavy. I've got secondary. So CPD 80, why don't you come back here?
Yep.
Not so fast, come back here.
Boy.
And let's just divide it into thirds and cover the corners. Right?
Okay.
And that way we can make the most of our scores harmony too. So I'll take the beach, you guys take the front.
Alright. So what's our, do we have a topic?
Yeah, the topic is let's beat the Warstat for about 90 seconds, and then we can get into our last topic. I'm down. And so CPD!
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Brawler should help, but it's being notoriously difficult. So what I'm going to do is I'm totally going to edit out the front end for YouTube. Start in the middle.
Why? Who wouldn't want to watch this over and over and over again?
I'm never doing this Nightfall again in my life. So
I think we said that last time we quit on it.
I was just saying yesterday, hey, we should try some strikes sometime. I think those would be, easier, and maybe we wouldn't struggle so much. Do you ever get tired of being wrong all the time?
All the time. It's a daily lesson. Okay, so, right, you guys have the front. I've got the back. No jumping, right?
Sure.
Okay.
And the ground is hot lava. Don't touch it.
Now, the air is hot lava.
Oh, okay.
See, I'm kind of cheating. I'm shooting the front. I should be watching the beach.
Don't worry about the beach right now. They're all going to come from here. After we get past the 2 captains here, then we have to worry. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I don't even know how that happened. Okay, I am up in 20. If you guys can hide behind that war stat there.
No. No, we're... Got him on full
You
sight.
got a wizard behind you.
Oh, man. I'm down.
Guys, I'm toast.
Okay, Project up.
Sorry, just a little longer.
And I'm down.
How many seconds on the war stat? What's our count there?
Oh, like a minute and a half.
So, I'd say let's give it 3 more tries, and then we can knock out a strike.
We should still
Just
have
for
about
the-
a minute left on the counter then.
That's fine. I mean, I think last time it took us close to an hour. We can knock out a strike in 15 minutes. I think the real point is, people aren't here to get, tips from the pros, so to speak. We're not, streaming Twitch so we can show off our mad skills. We're really just trying to talk about what it's like to be a cop who's not very good at video games. And I think we've done an admirable job highlighting that. So guys, same plan. Now I've got my full super. Stay close so we can do Scores Harmony. Oop. More staff for cover.
Oh boy.
I'll cover the beach, you guys cover the front. I keep thinking that you're taking CPD.
I'm about to be.
Oh boy, on the left.
Bubble.
Nice bubble.
Not really.
It's just okay.
One of you up.
7.
Sorry, just
Alright, lightning round number 2. Better ban warrant or the police?
Oh,
You have to make your case for it.
Oh, definitely the police.
I'm up.
Cool.
Oh.
Oh no.
And I'm toast.
Oh, and it's just me, not great.
Nope. Okay.
Yeah, I'm down. Oh, I forgot about the jumping and also the million taken.
Which?
Cool.
I'll be up in 15.
Oh, snap.
Alright, guys.
Okay, let's take it to orbit. We'll do a quick strike.
Yay.
So, no Nightfall rewards for us. Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
What about it there? Hey, what's your favorite kind of donut?
Yeah, donut break. Okay, so while we're booting this one up there, Mr. CPD80, yesterday
What's
was
your kind of donut?
a massively frustrating day for everyone in the greater Seattle metropolitan area. in regards to the horrific traffic due to the overturned tanker. You know, one of the things that I saw when I was taking the bus home was a lot of cars blocking intersections. And in fact, it took me about an hour for my bus to go, like the equivalent of 6 city blocks. So why don't you talk about that, good sir?
So there's lots of issues going on there. It can be anything as simple as just an extraordinarily large amount of cars on the road to an extraordinarily large amount of people blocking intersections as they're driving through town. Both of these things can cause lasting issues. Single car blocking an intersection can mess it up for like 3 cycles. So there are laws in place to keep people from doing it in theory. The issue is there isn't always a cop there to enforce these, so we ask the people be kind about how they do it or how they drive through town, and if you don't think you're going to be able to make it through the intersection, give us a break and don't try and force your way into an area that is clearly not big enough for your vehicle. That goes for cars, trucks, buses, everybody. So the complaint we always see on Twitter at Seattle PD is why don't we do the block the box enforcement, and how can we change it? There's a lot of requests to just do photo enforcement there. That would be a great way to solve the issue, and I don't disagree. It would definitely take a lot of the burden off trying to have a cop at every intersection, which just isn't feasible right now. The only issue with that is the photo enforcement laws only cover 4 very specific things, and it's written into the Seattle Municipal Code as to you can only do photo enforcement for these 4 things. And none of them happen to be blocking an intersection, so that makes it nigh impossible for us to actually do that. So until that happens, until that law gets changed, I think we're kind of out of luck on doing photo enforcement.
Well, one of the other things we get asked about sort of in that realm is, well, you know, if we know this intersection always has people blocking a box or you know, doing something untoward, why not just station an officer there?
Well,
why not?
Great, except that...
What a great idea.
It is a great idea.
We have traffic guys whose sole purpose it is, right, to write tickets, as everybody kind of understands. But they also have responsibilities to handle crashes and things like that. So they may be stuck at a crash scene. They may be doing enforcement on other things that the city has deemed just as important, putting some emphasis patrols out in other places. So, yeah, it's one of those things we would love to be able to do, because it annoys us too. It makes it so nobody can get around town, to include cops. So, yeah, we would love to be able to solve that issue by just putting a cop on every corner, but we just don't have that many cops, and that's the tough answer that has to be said, but it's also an accurate reason as to why it can't be solved
Aren't there
that simply on that one.
But there are some roads too where, you know, we're aware of ongoing issues, but because of road design, like what's the one we always get tweets about? Mercer. Yeah, we get tweets about that, and because of the layout of the road, we have done enforcement there in the past, and there have been cases where, because of the fact that, you know, there isn't necessarily a good place to pull somebody over or two-site them, that can actually create more havoc. So it's all kind of dependent on the intersection, right?
Exactly, and as we continue to make bicycle lanes more important, we have to draw away from things like shoulder lanes to do enforcement on this, because there's just no space to do it, especially safely. And the bicyclists will fully understand that being able to do or use that shoulder is truly the safest way for them to be able to get around if there is a bike lane. So they get that safety is paramount in that area, but it's just not there in some spots.
And one of the things that actually came up yesterday on Twitter, because I had a lot of time to read Twitter on the bus, some people were just, venting that they saw some officers who were, working at parking garages, directing traffic there, but not directing traffic out in the street. And this has come up on Reddit as well before, where people are going, hey, what about me? I mean, the street's a mess, but you're sitting here at this parking lot. Can't you help out? What can you do to, mitigate the traffic? And so that one, the short answer there is actually that those officers are also, providing a pretty valuable service. So as the city grows up, and Seattle has changed significantly in the last, 20, 30 years, it has really grown fast. And what you've seen, less of, assuredly, is street parking. So you're getting a lot more parking garages, and people are encouraged to, take transit. People are encouraged to walk to work, take a bike to work, and in some cases that's not always going to be possible. People are going to be driving and parking in garages. So as a customer service benefit, some parking garage owners will hire off-duty officers. So these are officers who are not being paid by the city, but they are Seattle Police or Seattle Parking Enforcement, and they are ensuring that traffic can flow and merge safely out of those parking garages onto city streets. Because I don't know if you've ever parked in a garage during rush hour and tried to get out. I got news for you, not everyone is that courteous. And it's like, yeah, tough luck. They're not going to let you move. So having a dedicated officer there will help. It keeps traffic moving. It keeps people, I think, on their very best behavior in most cases. But separately, the added benefit is you've got more uniformed officers. So if you're out with your family and your small child wandered off, if someone just robbed you, there's a uniformed officer there. I mean, yes, they're working for the garage directing traffic, but if there's a crime that happens, or if you just have a general question, we're here to help. That's what we do. So having those officers there is like total added value, and it's really no cost to the city. So yeah, it's frustrating when you're stuck in traffic and there's not an officer at an intersection, but rather an officer who's letting cars out of a garage, which to the person who might not know better is like, well, that's frustrating because I've been waiting in traffic, and instead of moving on the road, there's more cars coming out of this garage because this officer's helping them out. And it's like, totally get that, but there's a lot more to it. So hopefully that answered that question, which did come in on Twitter last night, and we've also seen that one on Reddit. Anything more to add on that, guys?
No, I mean, it's one of those things that's going to continue to be a problem, and we just have to go in understanding that. And once you get that, and you take a nice deep breath before you head out in the traffic, it makes it a lot easier. I mean, just turn on some nice soothing music, turn on NPR.
Turn on any radio station, really.
Exactly. I mean, you could watch our continued fails on YouTube over and over again after every Tuesday.
Or you can listen to them.
Yes.
On your hands free.
Is the black goo, right?
On your hands free, yes. That's always an option too.
Darkness given
Okay, speed round. What's your favorite music?
Oh, my favorite music? This is going to be an odd one for a lot of people, but I am a big fan of Swedish death metal, which I know is an oddly specific reference there, but yeah, I really enjoy me some technical metal. And on that same note, I will actually be going to see a concert at Studio 7 this week. How about you there, Grizzle?
You know, I listen to a lot of different things. Lately I've been listening to podcasts, so
that's not music.
Not music. I don't know, man. I'm old now, so I don't like any music that came out after like 1996.
So you're not a fan of like Katy Perry?
That is not. I do not have a playlist with any Katy Perry now.
That's not fair.
Look at my. I like the last Run the Jewels album.
I like listening to the Destiny soundtrack.
The Destiny soundtrack, that's free on a couple of the streaming services right now.
I paid to download it.
Local online bookseller has a music service that has it for free.
I'm hoping it's not pirated.
It's not.
No, I do appreciate classic.
Vivaldi?
I do appreciate classic King. I enjoy Vivaldi, but I have to admit that I'm probably more into Bach, Beethoven, Mozart. But also electronic dance music. Shout out to our local radio station, C89.5. Especially when I was working patrol. It was a good night when I could just listen to some dance music in between calls. Especially around 3 in the morning when I'm starting to get a little tired. So yeah.
Hey, what was your shout outs? I want to do a shout out to the guys on Metal Shop because they every Saturday night they got me through while I was out on patrol. So thanks to them too.
What was your favorite thing to eat while you're out on patrol at 3 in the morning?
Anything that has a lot of garlic in it because I rode with I had a partner. I was a two-man car. So, yeah, just out of sheer torture for the other person who happened to be in my car.
Sweet. Sean?
Yeah.
Your favorite 2 a.m. vittles?
Spinach, I'm sure.
Typically, yeah, staying away from carbs because when you're trying to stay up in the middle of the night, having a big lunch is a really, really bad idea. So, but you know, that's working third watch. And plus,
I got it in the middle.
I had the benefit of riding bikes, which when I wasn't in the car, definitely ensured that I wasn't going to fall asleep. And you know, nothing better than riding a mountain bike in during a very rainy Seattle winter at night. So just this guy's void burn, so if we can focus some void love on that guy, Mr. Malak. We'll burn through this here momentarily. So, yeah, any of the viewers, if you guys have any questions about police work or anything like that, just let us know. We've covered our 3 main topics for today, so we do have some open time.
Is it true that if you're a cop, you have to tell me?
Yes.
But I will.
Yes, no, maybe.
I don't know who to believe.
Yeah, that kind of beats the purpose of working undercover if someone asks you a question and then you have to tell them that you are in fact a police officer. That's not necessarily true, although we hear that sometimes. And that is actually technically not called a lie, it's called a ruse. That's the whole point. Okay, we've got Centurions behind us.
I got it.
See, this is much more kinder and gentler than Nightfall. It's a little too easy.
You know, not all of us play video games for the frustration.
That's not true. That's the whole point of playing video games, right?
Oh man, I would put in cheat codes if I could.
Up, down, left, right, A, B, start.
Exactly. I have no primary ammo all of a sudden. I don't know how that happened. Uh-oh. That hurts. A bunch of guys on the left side.
Copy that.
And me without any primary.
You're just gonna have to make a dash for it, Bobby.
Oh.
Okay, tennis ball cycle. Gotcha.
Ooh.
Alright. So, just to recap what we covered today, we covered Seattle's homeless crisis. It is a humanitarian crisis. The Emergency Operations Center's up and running. We talked about the navigation team a little bit. We talked about that people shouldn't make assumptions about someone who's living on the street. In fact, if you think that, if you think a crime's occurred, call 911. Let the experts deal with it. And certainly we investigate crimes that are committed by, and it's all people. People are committing white-collar crime, people who are breaking into cars and happen to be living on the street. So that's kind of like our business. We also covered bicycle theft and things that people can do to make sure their bike does not get stolen, and should it get stolen, what people can do to get it back through our very handy Get Your Bike Back program on Twitter at Get Your Bike Back. And lastly, we covered inconsiderate drivers who block intersections and don't leave room for others. Because when intersections are blocked during an evening commute in a very busy city, bad things happen and tempers can run short. And we also talked a little bit about working third watch, I guess, and weird musical preferences. Do you guys have any closing thoughts?
I think I'm with Patrick on Top Dog. It's a fine movie.
Great one. Never gets old.
I'm not sure I actually caught that one, guys. Who's in it?
Either, actually. I think a dog and Chuck Norris, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, you would be correct. That one. Oh, wow. That takes it all the way back. And goodbye. And of course I wiped doing it, so.
Malak's power over the Blight was impressive. You are a credit to the Tower Guardian.
That's right, we don't get a skeleton key, but I got an exotic engram. Yeah, you don't get those every day, do ya? It's a special thing. Yeah, because that accurately summarizes how this stream went. I deserved it. All right, guys. So thanks everyone for joining us and for listening in. We'll be back again next Tuesday, where it will be I'm sure, a much more manageable Nightfall Strike. I'm VesperBat. My colleagues CPD80 and Project Grizzle. So we will see you all next time. Have a great week.